Alright, so this is part 2 of using supplements with common sense. I would like to first start out by apologizing to everyone. It's been over 2 months since I've uploaded the first part of this video, and a lot of people have been asking, where's the second part to this video? The truth is that there's been a lot of changes going on lately, which has made it really difficult for me to upload another video. It feels like all hell has just broken loose over my life. But anyway, I do appreciate everyone who's asked for the second part of the video, and there have been some people who have actually insisted on the second part of the video. So again, my apologies. But without further ado, let's pick up where we left off. Alright, so before we get started, what I'd like to do is I'd like to share with you how I actually prepare my pre-workout. You'll remember in part 1 of this video that I shared with you the ingredients that I use in my pre-workout. However, if you're breaking open capsules every single time you're about to work out, that can be a little bit inconvenient. So what I've done is I've actually picked up these little containers, and these containers I picked up for free at a Moe's restaurant. They're the little containers that you actually use to put in your salsa for your chips. I've also seen these little containers in McDonald's as well. And what I'll do is I will pick up maybe about 7 of them, and I will go ahead and I'll use these to start putting in all of the ingredients to my pre-workout. So as you can see in this video I started by putting in about 8 grams of L-citrulline malate. I'll go ahead and I'll put in about 300 milligrams of caffeine, which is about 1.5 capsules. And I've also decided to include some L-Tyrosine. I'm including about 1,500 milligrams of L-Tyrosine as well. The other good thing about having little containers like this is that, as you can see here, I've marked some of them with an X, and that's basically for me to give me an indication as to which ones have caffeine and which ones don't. You see, I work out early in the morning, and I need that caffeine sometimes to just wake me up and just give me that extra energy to work out. However, being that life is the way it is and doesn't always work out the way you want it to, sometimes I have to come home from work and I will have to work out in the evening. And believe me, when I work out in the evening, I don't want caffeine in my system, because then I'm just not going to sleep. And that's one of the great things about having this kind of a system, because you can personalize it to your own needs. When you go ahead and purchase a supplement, a pre-workout supplement that has all these ingredients, including caffeine in there, chances are I won't even take it if I'm working out in the evening. I just don't want that effect I just don't want those ingredients to affect my sleep. Alright, so now let's talk about L-Tyrosine and L-Theanine. And don't get me wrong, these are actually 2 pretty good ingredients to include in your pre-workout. And when you combine them with caffeine, their effects are even better. I mean, they work better when they're combined with caffeine. Now, L-Tyrosine is considered a nootropic, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, which is a supplement that's taken for the effects on the brain. It's also considered an adaptogen, which is an herbal ingredient that is usually taken to combat fatigue in times of stress. So like, let's say, exercise. L-Tyrosine doesn't necessarily enhance your performance. It will help you with your awareness, and it does help you with mental focus. Now, an effective dose for L-Tyrosine can be anywhere between 1,000 to 3,000 milligrams, depending on your tolerance level, depending on your preference. For me, I find that supplementing with L-Tyrosine at 1,500 milligrams works well for me. Now, L-Theanine, that's an amino acid that's not usually found in a typical diet. However, you do find it present in tea, and especially in things like green tea and black tea. And when it's combined with caffeine, it gives you that relaxing feeling without the drowsy effect. Now, L-Theanine may have also some cardiovascular benefits, because it actually does help in the production of nitric oxide. Now, if you're going to supplement with L-Theanine, an effective dose is anywhere between 200 to 300 milligrams. Now, this comes because the FDA actually looked at some of the research out there of people who were doing high-intensity exercises, and that's the dosage that they used. However, the FDA has also declared that they don't see any adverse effects when supplementing up to 4,000 milligrams with L-Theanine. Now, to answer the question as to why I don't use these ingredients in my pre-workout, the truth is that I occasionally do use these ingredients in my pre-workouts from time to time. I think it all depends on my preference at the moment. Generally, I find that caffeine does a pretty good job in and of itself. But if there are times where I really want to enhance my awareness and enhance my mental focus during my workout, I may throw in these ingredients in my pre-workout. The other thing that these ingredients do is that they give you the perception of you having a more energetic feeling during your workout, simply because they do reduce your stress level during exercise to some degree. But for the most part, caffeine does good for me. Alright, so now let's talk about branched chain amino acids. This by far has to be the biggest supplement scam known to man. I mean, I don't even think that testosterone boosting supplements can come close to this one. I actually used to take branched chain amino acids because since I work out early in the morning, I used to work out in a fasted state. And so what happens is that I believed everything that the supplements company talked about, saying that you don't want to work out in a fasted state because you might be breaking down muscle unnecessarily, so you should consume some branched chain amino acids when working out in a fasted state. So I noticed a couple of things. The first thing that I noticed is that I really didn't see any difference between working out in a fasted state and not taking branched chain amino acids and working out in a fasted state while taking branched chain amino acids. I actually started to learn about branched chain amino acids and the adverse effects of branched chain amino acids through Sean Nalawani, and you may want to check out his channel because he has a lot of great information in there, and he has a lot of experience with bodybuilding and stuff, and so you may want to check out his channel. But I started to learn that branched chain amino acids can actually be harmful and can have the opposite effect of what you're striving for. We're all striving to get in an anabolic state to build muscle, but branched chain amino acids actually may have the opposite effect. So let me share with you what I've learned about branched chain amino acids, how they can have the opposite effect, and how supplementing with branched chain amino acids is actually a really bad idea. So research has shown us for a very long period of time already that in order for us to build muscle, we need all 9 essential amino acids. These are amino acids that obviously our bodies cannot produce, and so we need to consume them from our diet. Branched chain amino acids are only 3 of those 9 essential amino acids. Here's a study made in 1999 that states that consuming essential amino acids will actually result in muscle protein synthesis after a heavy weightlifting workout. Another research from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition talks about how essential amino acids are primarily responsible for the stimulation of muscle protein anabolism or muscle building. And finally, last year, this study from the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition basically narrows down and explains the entire thing. So let me give you the 3 main takeaways that I got from reading this study. The first one being that a lot of the research that shows favorable results from supplementing with branched chain amino acids were actually done on rats. Now, as you know, the muscle composition of rats and human beings are totally different. The second takeaway is that this study actually references 2 other studies where they researched the effects of branched chain amino acids on human beings. And in those 2 studies, they found that branched chain amino acids basically had no effect on muscle protein synthesis. And finally, I was able to learn how supplementing with branched chain amino acids can actually have the opposite effect of trying to build muscle. And you see, it's just that our bodies are such a finely tuned machine that when it needs the essential amino acids to build muscle, it's going to look for for all 9 essential amino acids to build muscle. So if you go ahead and give it only 3 of those 9 essential amino acids, 3 being the branch chain amino acids, your body is going to look for the other 6 amino acids that it needs. If it can't find it, it's going to grab it from somewhere, usually at the expense of muscle protein. Alright, so what are we supposed to do after learning all of this? Well, I think it goes without saying that your diet is essential, right? I mean, your diet is ideal in regards to this matter. However, in the context of these videos that I'm putting out about supplementing with common sense, a good source of your essential amino acids is going to come from your post-workout shake. I mean, look at the whey protein isolate that I use here from NutraBio. And if you look at the amino acid profile, you're going to find all essential amino acids in that product. Now, if you wanted to go with like a vegetarian or a vegan option, you guys have seen from a previous video that I'm a fan of ProMix. And if you look at the amino acid profile of this product, it also contains all essential amino acids. So I hope that I was able to provide you with some useful information. In part 3 of this video, I'm going to be covering how I try to optimize my post-workout nutrition. Specifically, I'm going to be talking about whey protein, creatine, and beta-alanine. And I promise not to take as long as I did with the second video in producing this third video. Now, for those of you who are new to this channel and don't know what my stance is on supplements, I feel that some supplements work for some people sometimes. Good diet and nutrition work for all people all the time, every time. See you at the next video.